Take us in, one of you.
Hey, it's the official podcast 286, I think. And today we're joined by special guest Charles White. Hey guys, it's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
You made yourself your own special guest.
Have you heard of our show? What are you known for?
Well, you may have heard of me from a little property called The Hunger Games. I'm sure you know by now they're announcing a prequel coming up, a new series, and who knows, maybe old District 8 helper will rise again.
Yeah, the Charles White saga. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Hunger Games was known as the original Squid Game, I think. That's only that's a joke that only anyone in the pre-show will get. Awesome.
A nice little humdinger for them to enjoy.
All 90 of them. You're welcome. I do it for you. So yeah, Charlie, where'd you fucking go? You left us high and dry for 2 weeks. What happened? The people want answers.
I went to Texas, and both times you guys were recording were times that we were literally driving to and from Texas. So I genuinely couldn't join. If you had chosen any other days for the guests, I would have been fine.
It was the same time we record every single week, which, by the way, was chosen by you. we were doing Mondays and Tuesdays for a little bit there, and then you were like, no, I'd prefer Saturdays and Sundays at 12 p.m. EST. So then I scheduled all the guests for then, and then you're just gone.
And now here we are on a Monday.
Yeah, wait, how did that happen?
Because of the Moist Esports Rocket League Regional, baby.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about your esports team, or do you want to talk about your Texas trip? You got to fill us in. Which one? You only get one though.
We'll do esports because our team is fucking nuts. We got second in the regional yesterday for the RLCS. It was wild.
I was surprised at how fun Rocket League is to watch. Like, I'm not much of an esports guy. Like, I don't typically like watching esports, and I think I've discovered the reason why. It's because most of the games with big esports, esports competitions, they're of games like League of Legends, which I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand the high level plays. But even watching Rocket League, I could understand what was happening, which was really nice. So I think that was a really fun thing to watch as someone who doesn't play the game.
Yeah, it was super fun. Jackson even hit me up saying that he wants to go to the London Major at the end of June to watch the boys.
Well, I also just want to go to London.
Want to go to London, yeah, but you're mainly going for the boys.
Yeah,
Really?
that's it.
What's in London?
End of June is the next Rocket League Major.
No, I meant for Jackson. Like, why do you want to see London specifically?
Well, Jackson's going to go to London. He's going to go to London and not even go to the Rocket League tournament. And be like, yeah, I'm excited. And just, he'll be wandering the fucking streets.
Just spend the entire time at Buckingham Palace. Yeah, my heritage.
Oh, no.
I want to go see the Queen before she dies. I want to stand outside Buckingham Palace and
what if
will
they
her
try to
into
re-enslave you, though?
Yeah, they just don't let me leave.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Yeah, what if you get conscripted into one of those Muppets Nutcracker uniforms? And you have to guard the palace.
I don't know. I want to see more of the world. I've never been to the UK. I just want to see more of the world in general.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so restricted.
I like that.
Yeah,
so that's why. Are you going to travel around?
Yeah. I was going to go traveling quite a bit until COVID happened, and then we got locked down pretty hard, and the borders are only now just opening up. And I originally wanted to go to Japan, which you talked about on the podcast before with Andrew. But Japan's borders aren't open yet either. So
no, they're
just
not.
kind of been waiting for that.
I recently checked on that, actually. The current rumor is maybe in about 2 weeks they will reopen them based on some elections that they're waiting to happen first. But
yeah, I heard that as well.
As of right now, they are closed.
Why would elections matter?
They don't want to open it up and have shit going down while they're trying to get reelected.
God, it's all about re-elections all the time. Just open the country, let me in, and I'll vote for you. It's okay.
I don't want to alarm you, Jackson.
It's about science, Jackson. Politics plays no part in it ever.
Oh, no. Of course not. It's about safety. Yeah.
I also really want to see Japan. Probably next year. I've done enough flying this
Kai can come with us too. And then, Charlie, are you going to go to London? Because you've got a crippling fear of upwards directions.
I'm gonna start flying, but a 9-hour flight to London's a rough one to start up again with, so I don't think I'll be going to London.
That's why he'll be
Aw.
starting the 17-hour flight to Japan.
Yeah, I think that one's a much easier one to palate.
He'll think of anime the whole time. It'll power him through it.
Yeah, I'll just
How
watch
are you
an
gonna
entire
dip your toes
series.
in it?
Probably just like travel to like
Regional
maybe
flights.
Texas again. Yeah, and
Texas
the next,
is a really easy flight. That'd be a good
yeah,
start.
it's only like 3 hours, and the Rocket League World Championship is in Dallas. So if our team makes it, it's a really good opportunity for me to start flying.
You know, I was in somewhat of the same position as you, Charlie, before the American trip, and I think that helped me the most going to America. It kind of got me over the fear of flying because it was a 28-hour flight all up, multiple flights. So I think it's like
That's
exposure
so
therapy. You
horrific.
just need to be in there for as long as possible. And I think the only scary parts really are the up and down parts, like when you're taking off and landing. Everything in between is just like cruising. So
It
with
is,
short
and
flights, with short flights like those regional flights, you do that more often. Well, you do it the same amount, but like they're more compacted, so you go up and down sooner. Most of it is up and down. So maybe
Right.
the London trip would be better.
I don't know.
Well, with the London trip, I can give you this pro tip. A lot of the flights you guys seem to have in America that are very short distance, you get tiny planes. Planes
Yeah.
that have like 12 rows. And when a plane is that tiny, it gets tossed around by the wind so much. I was pissing my pants. Whereas on a intercontinental flight, the plane is gigantic. I mean,
The
you guys should
jets.
see some of these like A380s or whatever the fuck they're called. They're
747s.
humongous. And they don't care about the air, dude. It's like a flying Titanic. It's amazing just how smooth that
Well,
shit is.
why'd you have to call it the Titanic, dude? We're trying to get him over his fear, and you named the one fucking ship that crashed. Charlie, there's no icebergs
Good
in the
point.
sky.
Okay,
we
not
swear.
like the Titanic.
Yeah, that's a good question,
Like-
Charlie. Would you feel better if the plane you get on was called like the Unsinkable, the
Ooh, that would be
Uncrashable?
pretty cool.
Yeah,
The Invincible.
the Invincible.
Well, that's like, okay, but it's the same as calling it the Titanic. Maybe you should give it an ironic name, like Dinky.
Always crashes.
Crashes a lot. Yeah, crashing at crash face. I don't know,
think-
the intercontinental flight helped me get over the fear a little bit, mostly because I could just sleep on the plane.
Exactly, yeah.
Charlie, you have enough money spring for first class. It's worth
Oh
it.
yeah, absolutely.
And it alleviates a lot of the fear.
Well, no, you don't have to go
Or you
first
get
class, but at least go like business or premium economy. Economy, they pack you in
Yeah.
like sardines, and it's awful. But premium economy, they let you like space it out a little bit
You
more.
actually get those seats that recline into beds.
That sounds cool.
And you get
don't you
lounge
get those
access.
in first class on international flights? Don't you get those little like lounges, those little like capsules?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those seem
Yeah,
so
usually
cool.
on
I want to
business.
use one.
Those are business class flights usually. First class flights are like insane now. Like, what's that Middle Eastern air carrier? Kaya? Not Etihad, the other one?
Saudi Airlines?
No, it's the big one. Emirates. Yeah, Emirates. Their first
yeah.
class is like literal hotel rooms with showers.
Holy shit, that's nuts.
It is nuts, but it's also like 60 grand a flight.
Oh god,
Okay, I'm not paying 60 grand.
no.
But, you know, you
I
can
can
still get
shower
a-
when I land. Thank you.
I don't know who that's for though, because people that are paying 60 grand a flight, surely they just have private jets and stuff. You know? Why would they be?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
And
think
again,
there's
at a
going to be
certain point-
there's a borderline of rich classness. Like there'll be a zone where you're like, yeah, I'll pay 60 grand a flight, but I don't want to buy an entire private jet. I mean, private jets are how many millions of dollars? You never know.
No
Yeah.
idea.
True.
Let's find out.
Oh, it's a shame
Well,
that you
also,
won't be
even
going
if
to
I was
London.
rich enough, I would not want to fly in a tiny private jet. Fuck that shit. I would, if I could afford it, just buy one of those gigantic ones, and that's it. Or rent one.
Isn't that how most like celebrity deaths occur, as well as like private helicopters
jets.
and private jets?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Well, other than like drug abuse, obviously, or drug overdoses, I think that would be up there. Helicopters, especially.
I hope we don't lose Bill Burr. Like we lost, who was it? Kobe? Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kobe.
Kobe was a
couple of
helicopter.
years ago.
No, he was a
him and
human
his
being.
daughter. That fucking sucks. Apparently, Bill Burr really likes doing his helicopter piloting license too now. It's like, why? You have so much money and so much fame. Just stay safe on the ground.
I get the idea of wanting to know how to fly a plane or fly a helicopter because it gives you like this sense of power, like you're doing something that humans were never meant to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that anytime I eat cultivated food or have a pet. I wasn't meant to do this. Fuck yeah.
I think we were meant to have pets.
I'm stronger than Mother Nature.
Yeah,
yeah.
Take that, Earth. Stupid moron. Think I'll dig a hole now.
I don't know. I guess if you didn't have a fear of heights like I do and fear of flying and it's like 27,000 other fears, I could see how it's fun. I feel that the way about like jumping out of a plane to those like, what is it called? Just parachuting, I guess.
Yeah,
Skydiving.
Skydiving, yeah, thank you. Like I want to do that, but at the same time, I would be pissing my pants. Like, what if something malfunctions?
Well, that's why you bring 2 parachutes, right? There's like safety, what do you call them? Precautions.
What if both
And
malfunction?
you always skydive with another person so he can catch you in his big meaty hands if anything goes wrong.
That's why they're there, yeah. They have titanium legs and they just land like a superhero when you hit the ground.
And give you a kiss on the forehead as they put you down on the floor.
They cause an impact crater and they land in that kneeling pose and they look at you and go, "Are you okay, citizen?"
And then when they put you down, they just fly off again to the next person that needs rescuing.
Like Iron Man. Right.
They hear it with their subsonic hearing and they go, "I have to go. Someone in Tibet needs me."
Well, are there any other dangerous hobbies you guys would want to try, but you don't want to try because they're dangerous?
Swimming with sharks.
That sounds so boring, though. You don't
What?
even swim with them. You just kind of like sit with them.
No,
a cage.
people absolutely swim with sharks.
In a
It's
cage.
not just cages. No.
Those are like professional scuba divers, though, and they don't do it to specifically swim with sharks, I don't think.
Well, no,
They do
absolutely
it just
no.
to, like, scuba
But
dive.
that's what I mean, like deep. Well, not deep sea, but like oceanic scuba diving.
Oh, okay.
I think that is somewhat dangerous because obviously there's an element of sharks and other sea life that is dangerous, and but I still think it's really cool. And so I've
think
done
it'd be
quite a bit of
super boring,
snorkeling and
to
stuff,
be
and
honest.
I swam with sharks
So
before.
I just think you're wrong. I just think it'd be boring.
How would that be boring? It's a whole different world down there. We've said it before. It's a whole different world in the ocean. There's like
Yes,
alien
yeah.
life forms.
How big were the sharks you swam with, though? Were they the big actual sharks that we
absolutely
are
not.
all see
No,
in
it
the
was
movies, or
it
little
was-
pussy sharks?
It was in the coral reef, so usually in coral reefs, big sharks don't tend to show up. They were like nurse sharks, which are about the size of a human.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you
that was
liked
really
it?
cool.
I don't know. I don't want to do any diving. That shit scares me.
See, he said it's scary.
Ooh. The worst hobby that I can think of is caving, where they explore caves and they try to
Oh,
wedge
no.
themselves through tiny
Okay, well,
cracks, and then
that-
sometimes they get
and-
stuck and die.
That makes me so goddamn uncomfortable just thinking about when you like do that deep spelunking where you're
Yeah.
climbing through holes that are barely bigger than your waist and like you have no map on where you're going. No, something I would never fucking do.
But that sounds
Good lord.
objectively
Some
more
guy-
boring as well.
I don't understand how they have fun doing it. It looks so boring. Whenever I watch those GoPro footages on YouTube, it's scary yet boring. Like, it's not even a fun kind of scary, you know? It's like,
Yeah, you're just
this is
surrounded by
just
rock.
shitty
Well,
mud.
Yeah,
It's just
I
it's
think
just a
that-
bunch of
staring at the
rocks.
rock.
I
And it's
think that have to
dangerous. This
be
is
part of
lame.
that have to be part of the fun though. If it's scaring you, like just watching it, imagine if you're actually in the cave, how like terrifying and adrenaline filling that could be. Not knowing where you're going, what's in front of you. It's
think-
exploration.
No, I think there's genuinely some kind of mental condition with these people that makes them addicted to holes, tight holes, and cramped spaces. That
Well, here, speaking
Yeah.
as someone who went caving in Texas, I can tell you it is just as boring as you think it would be.
well, did you go into any
you
like
went
actual
caving?
tight spaces?
Yep. There was
Why?
like only one tight
Ugh.
squeeze, and it wasn't that tight because even Matt could fit through.
How did you go?
Are you calling him fat?
I would assume you weren't like I weren't.
Yeah, that-
I'm assuming you weren't caving like uncharted spaces. So you
Yeah,
had,
that wasn't Uncharted.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
that
had,
doesn't
like,
sound like the
that's-
same thing at all.
So you had
No,
the
it's
safety.
the same thing.
Like
It's the same thing, trust me.
No,
you
right,
had the
you're right.
guarantee. You had the guarantee that you would get through it okay.
Yeah, you
I
knew
was
where you
just
were
here to
going.
I was just here to confirm that it isn't like exciting. It's just like, damn, I'm just kind of in a tight spot and it's dark.
someone posted that story of that one dummy again, this man who was
Nutty
famous.
Putty.
Yeah, for those who don't know, he went caving and he fell headfirst into a hole in the cave, basically, and he couldn't get back out. He was
Fucking
stuck,
idiot.
and people noticed that he was stuck, and they sent a rescue team. And the rescue team was like, well, you're wedged at just the wrong angle. In order to get you out, we'd have to break your legs. But if we break your legs, you'll die, because you're already upside down, and all your blood is already in your brain, basically. We also can't put you out and anesthetize you, so he just had to be left there to die. And then they puttied the cave shut. So,
Wait, are you serious? That's the
now is just
story?
that is the story. They just gave up on him. There was nothing they could do. He
Is
fucking
this an
died in there.
actual? Is this an actual like?
It is-
This isn't like fan fiction or anything. This actually happened.
This
Well, yeah,
actually
Jackson,
happened,
it's the
Jackson.
nut-
Jackson,
the
it was an
Nutty-
international news
Well,
story
good,
while it was
don't-
going on.
Don't say that the Nutty Putty. That sounds like a horror story on like fucking No Sleep. The Nutty Putty cave.
Why do you
That's
think it's so
something that they would make up.
terrifying, Jackson? Because it actually fucking happened to somebody. It was
Oh,
on the
don't-
news everywhere.
One of the most horrifying fan fictions that I read was one of these cave stories, the cave story or something. It was called something really generic. But don't act like this kind of story doesn't exist in fan fiction, because it absolutely does. I didn't realize
well,
Nutty Putty
yeah,
was
yeah.
a real thing.
God, this sounds like the worst way to go. Jones ultimately suffered cardiac arrest due to the strain placed upon his body over several hours by his inverted, compressed position. Ah.
Well, how did
By the
the
way-
conversation with him go when they told him that they were just going to leave him?
I don't know,
So
but
Kaya had missed some crucial details. They spent 27 hours straight trying to free him, but all that ended
it
up
didn't
happening
work.
is he just kept getting lodged deeper and deeper. They did get really close one time. They set up a pulley system, but unfortunately the cave wasn't strong enough to support that, so it just ripped the anchors out of the walls, even though it almost freed him. And then after that, he knew it was hopeless. They all knew it was hopeless, so they just left him there. And he knew the whole time. He was in and out of consciousness.
So he wasn't even there most of the
God
time.
damn.
oh
hate-
my god,
I
that
hate
is so
this so
fucking
much.
scary. Like a nightmare. Not being like consciously aware of what's happening. It's
Well,
just
I'm
like
s-
you keep waking up and falling back into a nightmare.
Yeah. I'm surprised that their humanity didn't take over, since most civilized places don't offer like prescribed death or whatever, like, you know, killing people that are sick. I'm surprised their humanity didn't take over and they like didn't put down like a, I don't know, a strip of
Yeah, they
oxygen,
didn't
like a pipe of
They
oxygen
didn't call
down
to the
there.
cave and be like, "Take me instead, cave spirit." And-
Well, there was, even if they tried to like pump oxygen in there, it wouldn't work, Jackson. He was upside down.
Yeah, I know, but I'm surprised that they just gave up.
Well, the
Well,
thing
it
is,
wasn't-
you also,
there's
it's
just
not
nothing
just
they
the
could do.
oxygen. Like, the human body just isn't meant to be inverted for, like, days at a time, you know? Your
Oh,
brain's
yeah.
gonna be fucked up by that. But I love that they couldn't even retrieve the body afterwards. They just decided, fuck it, and I think they cemented shut the hole. They
Yep,
just
they
buried him
sealed
in
it.
there in his tomb.
Well,
He's still in there.
did they at least take his shoes as like a memorial? Place the shoes outside of the cave as a warning. Yeah, that's fucking,
Throw it on a
that's what an
telephone
awful
wire.
way to go. Although if he was in
It
and out of
is.
consciousness, maybe it wasn't too bad.
Well, it was pretty
I don't
bad because he was like communicating, so he was lucid.
Man. Why didn't? So
And,
how
yeah.
long would it have taken to dig down and like open it up?
What I didn't understand is, since the walls clearly weren't super strong, judging by like the anchors breaking, I don't know why they didn't just start like breaking the rock around him to try and loosen it a bit. I guess maybe he'd fall further. I don't really know, but to me it would have made sense if they started like blasting the rock around him to try and just wiggle a little bit of extra room out.
Yeah. But then if they're digging the rock, maybe it would have fallen down and even like entombed him even more.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe that would happen. I don't know. I'm not a cave scientist, but just like, I feel as though you could have like started chiseling away some of the rock on the backside, like around his legs or something.
Why don't we send a bunch of people down the same hole, grab onto him, and then we make like a human chain and pull everyone out? Yeah.
Well, no, the issue
Or
was the
just
angle
tie
at which
like
he's
a-
stuck in there. Like his legs would have to be broken, they said.
Yeah.
Well, it's the thing is, breaking his legs wouldn't save him. Like, even if they did that, I don't think they were getting him out regardless.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, like I said, they floated that idea for a while, but I'm pretty sure the paramedics were like, if you do that, his system will literally go into shock. Like, he's already near death. You can't.
Well, Is that
break
worth?
bones on purpose right
Is
here.
that worth trying if he's gonna die anyway?
I don't know. I don't want to be in that position. According to Wikipedia, all the local spelunkers apparently also petitioned to keep the cave open, and they were really butthurt when the cave was closed
God, fucking
for further
hobbyists, man.
exploration. Like, one of you already died in there. What is wrong with you people?
They're just gonna
Why do you
keep
have a
piling
death
up
wish?
behind him.
It was a freak accident. So he went down an uncharted. Well, it wasn't like fully uncharted, I guess. He meant to go down something called like the birth canal
Yeah,
or something,
I'm
but ended
looking
up
at it now.
going down a different.
He went down
a
the
path.
death canal instead.
Yeah,
He
and
chose wrong with the
just-
fork.
he just took the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, but this is entirely on him. Why would you crawl head first downwards,
Yeah, come on. You had to
diving
go.
into a hole?
Surely you would have known that you were getting into a rough situation when you passed the crack or the maze or the birth canal. You know, you don't want to go
When
deeper
you're at like a
than the
90
birth canal.
degree decline, yeah. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these
Yeah,
people.
it's,
So
it's
that's something
definitely
I will
something
never,
that I
ever
don't
do.
understand. Caving, that's something that I would never do. But you said float the idea. What if they poured water in the cave and he floated up?
Or they drown him.
Oh yeah,
You could just go. You could do Ed Nutty and just like start dripping butter down there and see if we can slide
lube
him
him
out.
up. Did they even try
Yeah.
lube? I forgot. I keep forgetting he's upside down. He's just drowned within like 5
I
minutes.
hope you never manage any like disaster recovery operations. You suck. Yeah, you're almost as bad as what was it? Elon Musk was floating the idea of like making mini submarines to rescue that team of children that got lost in a cave one
yeah.
time. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
some guy was actually trying to help, and Elon called him a pedophile a couple of times.
Yeah, I do remember that. But mine made sense. It would float up, potentially. It would alleviate the stress in the knees, and then we can break them. It's easy to break bones in water or something.
Jackson's like, why don't we fill the lava with acid so it melts the rock and we can free him?
Let's set the cave on fire. Then he'll have to leave.
Yeah, let's smoke him out.
The smoke will push him out of the hole.
I wonder if we could create some kind of localized earthquake scenario which would then push the earth crust
Are you a
apart.
supervillain, Jackson? Good lord.
I'm pretty sure that would just wedge him in deeper, Jackson.
Yeah,
Or
of
cave
course,
in the
watch
cave.
him. She's trapping all the rescue workers as well. No,
Oh,
okay,
man.
so
Also, yeah, I wouldn't even go in there to rescue anyone. Fuck that, too. Save yourself, bitch.
Yeah. Nothing about that makes me feel comfortable. I don't think I'd ever do deep cave exploration. It's just, ugh.
Well, like-
I'm gonna stick to that in Minecraft.
Yeah.
yeah, like Charlie said, it's just boring as well. It's just rock. I can kind of get it
Yeah.
if you're uncharting, you're discovering uncharted territory, maybe, because you get to name it like Ed's Push or whatever, or Bob's Push or whatever the fuck they call it. But other than that, no, I don't understand it. And those uncharted territories are the ones where you get stuck in. So why would you do that? Just use 3D scanners.
Is there even any uncharted territory anymore? We were all kind of born late. You guys know that meme? Born too late to explore Earth, born too early to explore space.
Yeah,
So
deep,
there's
deep
lots of
oceans
charts.
and caves.
Yeah, deep ocean and caves. That's why they do
Both
it.
I'm scared of. Damn it. Why can't I explore tropical islands with like where they just sing hula songs and they give me coconut drinks and shit? I don't want to explore a fucking hole in the ground. Or Mariana's
Do you really think
Trench.
that's what
scary.
happens? Do you think that's what happens when people explore islands, Kaya? The natives show up with hula girls and give them flowers and
Well,
massage them in a chair when, like...
Finally, somebody's
And
charting
in
our
my-
island.
in my universe there is no genocide, okay? We're all happy people. I would be a happy conqueror.
That's exactly
Unless
what
it's
happened to the British and the
Pitcairn Islands.
Spanish. They showed up and all the natives who perfectly spoke English were like, welcome
Finally,
to
you showed
Paradise
up.
Island.
You
Take a
got our
coconut
invite.
and a
You did
virgin.
try that. Do you guys remember? There's an island. I forget its name. It's basically an island that no modern people have ever stepped foot on.
Yeah.
And it
Isn't
still
it like
has the
Senegal?
local natives
Senegal
on it.
Island or something?
I have no idea, but
Isn't that the
basically
one
there's
where,
a
Sentinel
town on
Island.
it.
It's Sentinel Island.
Sentinel
Isn't-
Island. Yeah. and-
isn't that the one where anytime a journalist or something tries to get close, they just immediately start throwing spears and bows and arrows at them and try
Yeah.
to kill
Yeah.
them?
To be fair,
Yeah.
it's worked. The helicopters go away
Missionaries-
after that. So
Yeah.
So also the local government forbade anyone to go to the island. So basically the Sentinel people are like, you're supposed to just leave them alone and leave them be, because at this point
These
it is
natives have a
thought
local
that-
government that can dictate whether people visit or
No,
not?
whatever government officially technically owns the island said just leave them alone, I guess, because at this point they're like so diverged from modern society that if they get in touch with us, they might die from just the cold, because they have like no immune system to anything that we have and vice versa.
God, it'd be
And
so
missionaries-
interesting taking someone like that to like, I don't know, Tokyo or something though, and just
Or
seeing the
Disneyland.
reaction. Or Disneyland.
There's a fucking documentary
Disneyland, they will lose their
series.
fucking minds.
I'm going to put out a
my God.
goddamn call to anyone listening. There is a documentary series. It's, I forgot the name, but it was made on British television. And the whole point is they found like 6 tribesmen leaders from Africa, and they put them on a plane and took them to like a theme park and like downtown and restaurants. And they just interviewed them and like filmed their reactions to like civilized
What is it
American culture. What is it called? But the whole point is that I can't find it anywhere, and the only place I can find it is online on this British website that requires like a British cable subscription to watch.
Is it iView?
Meet the
BBC?
Natives. That's it. Meet the Natives.
Oh my God. that's an
If
awful
anyone
okay.
out there has it, for the love of God, send it to me.
name. Do you remember
I
if
wanna
they
watch
were
it.
bored by it?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't been able to see it. There's apparently a USA version, which isn't that good, but the original like 6-part series on Britain is really good on Channel 4. And God, I want to watch it. But it's just nowhere.
I might look it up.
Please
But
help
yeah,
me.
that's interesting. And at some point, missionaries tried to go to the island, and predictably, they got speared and killed.
Classic missionaries.
And I think crucified. I think they literally hung them from like trees as a warning.
God damn.
A warning to the helicopters. I wonder if they think that the helicopters are living things.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
Yeah, if I
Yeah,
had no,
wouldn't you?
if I
I
had
mean-
no like reference to like outside culture or what is outside my island, then yeah, probably I would think they're giant skybirds with people inside them.
Yeah.
The people inside
Well-
them are victims.
They don't even know there's people inside them, do they? It's not like the people inside like hang out with a turret or something.
Well,
like
it's
they're
like
just in a
windows.
helicopter.
I would assume that they can
Oh
maybe
yeah,
see
but
people
I mean,
inside.
you can't really see that far up. Probably, you might just think it's a goddamn god. Who the hell knows?
Well, then
I
why
don't know
would they be
what
throwing
you guys
spears at
do
their
if you
god?
owned. Well, they're scary gods, You don't have to respect all gods, Jackson. Would you take the island if you were the? Where's this island technically?
I think it's off the coast of India.
Sentinel Islands. Well, if you were the Indian government, would you invade it, or is it not even worth it?
It's not worth
Oh
it.
damn,
I
this
don't
looks like a nice island.
I don't
I would
see why
totally
it would be
invade these
worth
guys.
it.
Oh,
It's
it
an
is in
island.
India.
You can take it and sell it for millions and millions.
To
Yeah.
who? Who needs islands anymore?
Rich
Bill
Americans, I
the
think,
next
yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, it's usually rich people.
Do you think that no matter how like primitive their society is, they still use honey?
They
Yeah.
better.
Hmm,
Probably, right?
I hope so.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
don't
bulk
even
discount on
need
spears.
you don't even need the internet or computers to appreciate honey. You don't even need to know what the concept of saving money is to appreciate honey. Because as we all know, all over the world, children of the earth in their native language will sing that this episode is sponsored by honey. And it's the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer. I mean, I don't buy things in person anymore. I don't know who does. Yeah, I buy things that I have to buy in person, like food, but 95% of what I buy is online because then I can get exactly the brand I want, and you always find the best prices, and it's just easier than going out and buying things, especially when you know what you're looking for. And like stores often don't have what you want, or you have to go there. It sucks. Online shopping is like possibly the greatest thing the internet offers in terms of services. It's just so fucking convenient. And what's even more convenient is how honey will save you money on things. I mean, you sit there and you think to yourself, you're going, oh God, I need guitar strings for my guitar hobby. Well, I could go to the guitar store or I could buy a guitar online. But I'm going to make sure that when I get my guitar and my strings for my guitar string hobby, that I'm going to use honey. It's going to drop down and save me money. That's what I did. I buy strings all the goddamn time. Hell, if you're watching the video, you can see like 3 of my guitars in the background. But when I buy strings and stuff, I say, honey, save me $1, save me $2, save me whatever. And it just does it. And you don't even have to do anything. Honey doesn't just work on desktop. It works on your iPhone too. Just activate it on Safari and save on the go. If you don't already have honey, you could be straight up missing out. And by getting it, you'll be helping us. You'll be looking at every one of the 4 official boys and saying, I support you, I respect you, I would never trap you in a cave upside down, I will do everything I can to help this show. I'd never recommend something I don't use. Get honey for free at joinhoney.com/official. That's joinhoney.com/official. And when you're done saving money, which will be never, because you're using honey, so you'll be saving it all the time, you can check what time it is. You'll look down at your wristwatch and go, oh boy, by the time honey stops saving me money, it's the end of the universe. Wow, that's a dedicated service. But how did I know that all of time and space had collapsed in on itself at this point in history? Well, because I'm wearing a Movement watch. Movement has grown into one of the fastest growing watch brands, shipping to over 160 countries across the globe. They've also got blue light glasses and style essentials that will not break your bank. I mean, you want to watch this like $400 to $500? Well, then you can go to a watch store. You see how like you're not shopping online because you're dumb? Then you can buy a $400 to $500 watch. But if you want the quality of that $400 to $500 watch in a much, much cheaper package, something not ridiculous, you're going to want to use Movement. You're going to get it shipped right to your door for free. And if you don't love it, you can ship it right back for free. If you want to elevate your look with style that doesn't break the bank, then join the Movement and get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns. Go to mvmt.com/official. That's mvmt.com/official for 15% off, free shipping, and free returns on some nice watches. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you to the sponsors. Movement and honey, baby. Those are 2 non-dangerous hobbies that I want. What about
wearing watches and buying things?
Yeah. They're my favorite hobbies.
Watch collecting is a hobby. You could do that, technically. It's a boring one, but not dangerous.
I think it's less boring than cave diving, personally. At least you kind of get cool watches to look at.
Less dangerous, too.
So, did you guys have any other dangerous hobbies that you want to do? I think Charlie gave an answer and I gave an answer.
I already said I would like to one day maybe get like a... No, I said that's the one I wouldn't do ever. Not a fucking caveman. Right. Fuck you. I'm gonna live in civilized society. Yeah, skydiving. Maybe get a pilot's license. I don't know.
Weren't you just saying people that get pilot's licenses are idiots?
Yeah. Well, not idiots, but I guess I said if I didn't have all those fears, it could be fun, and I feel like there would be a way to get over the fear, to learn it inside out. And then I can be the hero if the 2 pilots for some reason simultaneously die in the cockpit and the hostess is yelling out, are there any pilots on board? I can be the hero of the day.
Yes, I have 10 hours in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Get me in there. I can land this bird.
That was good enough for the 9/11 guys. Then again, I don't think they ever took the classes on landing.
Yeah, no, they didn't. Andrew, did you have one?
I wish I could sword fight somebody. Just straight
That's
up.
not really a dangerous hobby, though. That's just something that doesn't really exist unless you're in like the professional medieval fighting scene.
Or you're a fencer.
Yeah, that doesn't exist.
Oh, well, yeah, fencing's different. That's a sport. Yeah. It's not even that dangerous.
I'm talking about, like, I don't know.
Dangerous, is it?
Find a way to make
strips.
sword fighting just a real thing. Just like I don't want to be in a sword fight ever. Like, that would suck. But if I could find a way to do it consequence-free, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so you want the guarantee of victory.
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
they
no.
did,
I wouldn't mind
blunted
losing, but
swords.
okay, so you're in a video game, right? And you get into a sword fight. If you die, it doesn't matter. You turn the game off or you restart the game. Like, it has no effect on your real life. But if I get in a real life sword fight and I lose, I'm dead or seriously injured. I want to invent like an actual sword fight, but there's no consequences.
Well,
They're
that's just
called
fencing.
wooden swords.
Yeah. Or
You
that.
can do that with fake swords. It's not going to be as cool.
No. But with, well, yeah, of course I could do it with fake swords. I want to do it with real swords. Like, it's impossible.
Well, no, there's
You know,
practice swords, aren't there? There's swords that are like actual swords, but they don't have sharp edges.
Yeah, but even then, if we're going full all out, that would hurt. I've always wanted to find a way to make like gunfights and sword fights and explosions and like all this stuff. I want real life action with no consequence. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like it
just
would
VR.
be exciting then, though.
Yeah, I guess VR would be the closest we could get. But like one day I'd like to just go to like a hospital and like some guy walks up to me and he's like, "This is an action hospital." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah." And like I start shooting people and things start blowing up and like people shoot at me. There's like a guy with a katana. There's like kung fu. And then like, I don't know, it resets after. I guess I just want a real life video game. I don't know.
Why did it have to be in a hospital?
Because that's
Yeah,
the
I
You
action
want to feel
hospital.
the pain, though?
No, probably not.
Yeah, that is just a video game then, I guess.
Yeah. All right, I want a real
Yeah,
life
you want
video
the
game. That's my
Matrix.
dangerous hobby.
Yeah, I like how your
Fair
dangerous hobby was the thing that stripped all danger from it completely.
No.
I don't really
no.
want to die. I don't really want to feel hurt.
Yeah. I don't want danger in
Well,
my
yeah.
dangerous hobby, please.
It's just that by comparison, like, have you ever thought just how boring real life is? Like, really? How
I think
there
that-
are just
I
so
think
many
this-
things and concepts we, number one, will never have, and number two, will never experience on a daily, like, a daily life. We'll just never experience that rush of so many things.
Well, I think that's
I want
because
that.
you got video game brain. You only like think about things in terms of can this be a video game now? Can I experience this as a
Yeah.
video game?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I think right now is the most interesting time to live. We've got so many different
Oh,
hobbies available to
comparatively.
us. Yeah.
Comparatively, now is the most interesting time in human history, but it's still boring compared to fiction. And I hate that.
Well, that's
We
always
don't
going to
have
be the case. Imagine if
dragons.
fiction was more boring than fucking reality. That would suck.
That's Futurama, I think, that did that exact thing, where fucking Calculon's in a movie and they're like, "Oh, I'll file my taxes for the whole movie."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit would be boring.
It's just-
that's just a universal rule. Our creativity or our imagination will always exceed our reality. And that's how it
True.
should be.
That's true, but just think how
Yeah.
many things we've created that are like hundreds of years old, and yet we still don't have, like dragons, robots, magic.
Well, how would we have dragons? Like,
Exactly, that's my point. We've been discussing these fairy tales and these folklore for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of years, and yet we'll never have them. And it sucks.
I think all the dragons are hiding at the end of these caves. We just need to get there and then we'll discover them.
With their pile of gold and their riddles. I wish
Well, in the
fiction
future, we
was
could
more
have
like
dragons
reality.
with genetic engineering. I don't
Yeah,
think that's
I guess.
impossible.
It'd be cool if there was like a machine that we eventually created that we just put in a prompt and it makes our fiction reality somehow. I guess that is VR again. Fuck.
Yeah. VR is the
damn it.
closest, but still,
Maybe.
like, VR still has limitations. You're limited by your space. You're limited by your device. Like, if I'm playing a VR game and I get hit by a dragon's claw, I'm not going to go flying back 100 feet in real life.
But you
And,
said you didn't
know.
want danger.
But that's my whole point. I want to achieve that without the danger, without actually being killed. I think that'd be awesome.
But like even then, VR, even at its peak, when you're in a like awesome simulator, like a racing simulator that sways every which way to make it feel the G-forces and whatnot, it's still not real. It's
Exactly.
nothing like the real thing, you know?
Yeah.
That's always going to be limited.
I want a chemical cocktail and a VR headset that perfectly tricks my brain into thinking I'm in whatever VR scenario I'm in. And that's it. I would live
you're not-
that for the rest of my life.
You are never going to get that though if you don't open yourself up to the, experiencing
Drugs.
some form of pain.
Nah, Kaya's right. It's drugs.
Well, no,
All
but you have to
drugs.
feel the pain for it to be exciting. I think you have to feel some kind of impact.
No.
You have
Let's
to feel the pain
invent.
for it to be exciting.
Let's invent a
And a video
VR
subtitle.
or a suit where whenever I would have pain, instead a little light bulb on my chest lights up so I can look down and go, "Oh, that hurt! Ow, damn."
That's
Like
what I'm
in
saying. That's
laser
not
tag.
exciting. That's not
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah,
that's not
laser
exciting.
tag.
No, I'd look at it and I'd go, "Damn, my red light's on. I failed. I must do that again without my red light going on."
People find
like laser
paintball
tag.
more exciting than laser tag. And that's
Laser
because
tag's
the
fun,
danger.
Jackson.
Yeah, but people prefer paintball.
Yeah.
How much pain
paintball
would
is
you
cool.
agree to?
Paintball doesn't
like if there was
hurt
a
too
mad
badly.
Paintball does hurt.
scientist.
Oh, it
Paintball
hurts,
does
but
that.
not that badly. Like, it's not going to hurt as much as if you get your fucking head cut off if, like, you're in a medieval setting or something.
Yeah, obviously, paintball isn't gonna hurt like getting decapitated.
I'm not saying you need an
Yeah,
exceeding
and-
amount of pain. I'm just saying that you need some element of pain if it's going to be as exciting as you want it to be.
hang on.
So
that-
how
I
about
need-
how about we tone it down? How about I go into like a barbarian VR simulator, and every time I get hurt somewhere, I'm wearing a suit, and it just like it kind of hurts me a little bit. It's a little sting. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's what I
Yeah,
mean.
that's what I'm asking. How much
Yeah.
pain do you think is enough? What would you settle for?
like a bee sting.
I think it should be enough that you want to avoid it. So maybe like a little shock. So that way there's incentive to not get hit and not get hurt, but not enough that you wouldn't want to play. That
I
makes
bet
sense.
you could set that up. You could definitely set that up. I'm sure someone already. Damn it, my
Yeah,
fucking
there's
door.
there's
Hang on.
a oh god. What was that?
That was his
his alarm.
ringtone.
No, he said someone was at his door.
There's
I think.
I know many years ago they invented a Tetris table, or not Tetris, Pong table, where you would put your hand on it and it would hurt you if you lost. But it's like I want more immersion than that, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
why would you need pain for ping pong?
Well, it was called like pain pong or some shit, and it was a gimmick.
Yeah, no, I'm exclusively talking about things that you're talking about, like fantasy settings and stuff. When you're trying to immerse yourself in a dangerous setting, you need that form of actual pain, I think.
Yeah.
Or some
and then
capacity
there's
for pain.
also a lot of other things that people don't consider, like smells. You can't smell VR.
Yeah,
but
that's why
if you're-
Disney World is so good, because they pump the smell through the
Yeah, they pump the
place.
cookies in there. But like,
Yeah.
imagine you're doing that gladiatorial combat arena. Like, I want to fucking smell like the dust in the air and like the fucking sweat of the battle and like
Ew.
there. And you
piss
also
and
can't
shit.
feel. You also don't feel. You know, like if you're playing VR and you have a big, heavy fucking barbarian sword, you're not gonna feel that heft. The controller's gonna weigh what the controller weighs, no matter what.
Yeah.
There's too many disconnections from the current VR that we have. We can get close. Like, graphics look really great, and the smoothness at which these games run and the quality of the headset and all that. We get very close. The sound design, but there's
Well,
just still
it's got to
too many
encompass all
factors.
5 senses for it to be fully
Right.
immersive. And that's why I'm saying, like, if there's a pain element to it, then that would kind of satisfy the touch element, as well as, you know, actual haptics and heavier,
Yeah.
or weight accurate tools.
Yeah.
But then I don't know.
people
I don't know
wouldn't
how
do
you
it,
do
though.
like. I don't know how you. Taste is the final frontier for me. I don't
Taste
know
is
how
another
you-
one, yeah. I want to
don't
be
know how
playing
you would
VR
encompass
and,
that.
like, as an intimidation tactic, lick my opponent's face, and I want to taste his sweat and his blood and be like, ah, ha ha.
Take
that.
danger into a frenzy.
I guess what I want is VR to encompass everything and become augmented reality, but like perfect augmented reality, I suppose.
I just don't want
think at
VR to
that
be the
point you
final
need, like,
frontier.
Brain
Well, it won't be.
implants.
It's just the first step.
Well, what is the final frontier then? What's after VR?
Ready Player One.
Oh
But that's
no,
VR.
so
I hope
references out the ass and that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Tracer's butt cheeks.
I'd rather go
no.
backwards in time than there, if that's our future. Man, that movie was fucking
You'd
painful.
rather be a peasant in like a French medieval village than hang out with Master Chief in VR.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Tracer
I mean,
from
yeah.
Overwatch.
Oh my god, that was so lame.
She's in that movie like
Shit movie.
4 fucking times.
Is Mark
they making another
Zuckerberg going
one?
to be the like dictator of the metaverse? Like, is he going to be this all imposing figure? Is he going to be like the president?
No,
probably
I think
be
they're
so.
gonna keep all of us in like pods where we all live in the metaverse, and
Oh,
people
we
like
become-
Mark Zuckerberg are gonna just yuck it up in the real world as they
Oh,
always have been.
true.
That was his
What the fuck
only
would
goal.
they confine
when-
themselves into the metaverse?
That was his only goal in inventing all this VR tech progression. He just wants everyone to get into VR so he can be left alone forever in the real world.
I don't think this.
Yeah.
I don't think this has ever come up at all in fiction or reality. But I think like they'll put us in pods to experience VR, and then they'll siphon our life force for batteries, and will power the real life fantasies of the rich. And famous.
That's the
Actually-
Matrix.
No, it's never happened before.
That's almost exactly like Skynet too,
No.
but it's the cum that powers the robots.
And Jackson, did you know that the Matrix was originally going to be about brains harnessing processing power, which makes a lot more sense than using them for
That would
energy?
have made so much more sense. Why didn't they
Yeah.
go with that?
Well, they probably thought the audiences
executives-
wouldn't get it.
The executives at the time said that casual audiences wouldn't
Exactly.
understand that as a concept, whereas energy made more sense.
Yeah,
So
and
they
I
had to change it.
That
Yeah.
is so
I
stupid.
absolutely
That is-
think they're right in
That's
their
painfully-
understanding. Like, I don't think casual audiences would have understood what the fuck brain processing meant in terms of like computers and such. But
Yeah.
it's
You
still
gotta remember, the Matrix came out in 1999, where like Windows
So?
98 was still reigning supreme. There were plenty of people watching that movie who would have no fucking idea what they meant by like harnessing into a giant supercomputer with their processing.
Oh,
and this
come
and that.
on. You're like, you're okay. I know people by and large are stupid, but all it would have taken is like a throwaway line in the movie to explain it. Like, think of your brain as a computer, and now they're using it to calculate their own shit. Like, it's not that
then people
difficult
would
of
have
a
complained
concept to
about
wrap your
over
head around.
explaining.
Ugh.
I don't know. I could see either. I could see the logic behind either. I agree that the processing thing makes way more sense in universes and it is a more interesting plot. But I could see why they would change it to try to make it as simple as possible.
Yeah, but all you had to change was, you know, that scene where Morpheus is they're in the white matrix and he's explaining to Neo what he is, and he holds up a AA battery or something, and he says, "This is all you are to them." All you had to do was like give him a pocket calculator instead. There, this is all you are to them, a fucking calculator.
But the general audience doesn't know what a calculator
Yeah.
is.
And think
damn
what
it.
think what the audience would think what the general audience would say. They'd hold up a calculator and he'd be like, "What is Neo a genius? Is he like a math nerd?" That's exactly
is
what
that
they'd say.
space
And you
age
know it.
technology?
I don't think people are that stupid though. I think they'd get it.
No, people are stupid, dude.
Nah, man.
No,
We're
they're
stupid.
not.
We're stupid.
not.
Okay. Imagine this too.
Yeah,
like,
we're
think how
stupid
many
and we get it.
Think how popular The Matrix was with kids and teenagers. Do you really think the majority of them would understand that allegory? They'd be like, "Whoa, Neo's a fucking like calculator. He's
Yes.
really smart."
He
That's
can
what
do
they
math
think.
fast.
He can do math. That's what they think. They're kids. They're
And
stupid.
that'd be fucking awesome. Like, damn, this guy's good at math and he's making it cool. I want to be good at math.
First of all, that is the point of the Matrix. Neo is that smart because he's like an expert programmer who can do all that fucking code shit in his brain almost intuitively. What's the explanation now? He's a really good battery? That wasn't the point of it.
He takes
And
in
yeah, I do
power.
think kids would understand it better. Kids are the ones playing video games and shit.
Yeah,
if
kids
anything,
would have
they
been
could
fine.
wrap their heads around it much easier.
It's the
Then
general
say a
audience,
fucking
which is
60-year-old
anyone over
boomer.
like 20 to 40 that visits
Oh
cinemas.
yeah, I mean I agree with you that it's way better when it's processing power, but I also see why they changed
I understand
it.
the decision, yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm interested, Andrew. Do you know any other like fun facts like that where a movie had to be dumped down by the suits against the like?
Oh, I
writers'
do.
wishes?
Okay,
go ahead.
Jurassic Park. So
I knew it. I knew it.
So you know the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park, the originals, mind you.
Yeah.
They're like all big and imposing. They're the size of humans. Velociraptors in real life, however, are the size of chihuahuas, and they're not nearly as imposing. The reason that they were changed in the movie to be called Velociraptors is because Velociraptors had a cooler sounding name than the actual dinosaur it was based on, which is something like Utah Raptor. And so they chose Velociraptor instead. But Velociraptors in real life are the size of chihuahuas, so not entirely accurate.
Oh,
So
that would have been
was
so
one.
Really?
cute.
Velociraptors are like chicken size?
Yeah, pretty much. They
What the
weren't
fuck?
large at
I
all.
didn't know that.
I have a fun one for you guys. Did you know Kangaroo Jack was originally supposed to be a PG-13 movie, but they ended up cutting everything down to make it PG, which is why it's so weird and disjointed.
It's also why the trailers were so disconnected from the actual movie.
Yep.
Like the kangaroo in the trailers was constantly shown talking and rapping and doing all this weird shit. And then in the movie, that is for one scene and it's a dream.
Yep. And the movie wasn't even supposed to be about that kangaroo. It was actually just a comedy about like transporting drugs in the outback. But they changed it to be more kids oriented for some reason. They made that one kangaroo scene like the focal point of its marketing.
Yep. I saw that movie in the theaters as a kid.
So did I.
Yeah.
It was good. I used to love that movie.
Me too. I thought it was great.
So you can't argue with the change then?
Well, I mean, everyone else hated it. It has an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. I remember even back when I was a kid, everyone was like, this movie's trash. It's one of the worst movies ever made.
Jackson, you gotta remember, kids like garbage. Like, there are some really, really terrible movies and TV shows that kids just love.
Yeah, I suppose.
Jackson, are you feeling threatened over Star Wars now?
No.
Yeah, did they have to dumb down Star Wars?
Well, they fixed it in editing. George Lucas's wife, like the original cut of Star Wars, was apparently really awful.
I know another one.
Okay, I'll go fuck
I'm
myself.
sorry. I'm sorry. It's just,
No, go ahead. I've been talking a lot.
I got lost in my own train of thought and tuned everyone else out, and then I just had to be heard. I'm sorry, Jackson. Go ahead.
No, I'm done anyway. That story's well known.
What's the story? It was based off a true story. It was a very famous movie about the teacher who moves to like the ghetto, lower class, inner city school, and all the kids are really violent and troubled, and then she wins them over by being really respected.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's a very famous movie.
Apparently, Dangerous Minds. Someone said.
Maybe. Let me see. It is Dangerous
Substitute.
Minds. I think it's Dangerous Minds, where it was some really, really like famous big box office movie where this like teacher who's a real hard ass moves into an inner city school, and all the kids are really like violent and troubled, and eventually she like convinces them to be respectful and good students. Freedom Writers might be it. Is it Freedom No, it's not Freedom Writers. It's the one with... Fuck. Either way, it might be Freedom Writers. I'm not sure.
Jesus, there's so many.
Either way,
there's so many people putting different movie titles in chat. How many movies were made off this concept?
There's a lot of movies with this premise. It might have been Star Wars. There's a lot of movies with this premise, but there's one really famous one where the teacher... There's a scene where the teacher walks into the classroom wearing a sexy outfit, and it's to get their attention and like show that she's like, you know, the boss and she's in charge and she's a woman. And in the movie, it's like this big scene where she walks in with like a fucking hot dress and her titties hanging out, and everyone's like, whoa, maybe I should listen to my teacher because she's hot. And they interviewed the teacher that movie was based off of. Thinking. They interviewed the movie. They interviewed the teacher that movie was based off of, and she said that's not what happened remotely at all in real life. If I did that, the students would have just fucking disrespected me even further and thrown me out of the fucking classroom.
She probably would have been convicted.
Well, they said, so what did happen? And she said they threw a dictionary in my head and tried to kill me.
What the fuck?
A very clearly different movie.
What is with the fucking school system in America where that happens?
I think it is Dangerous Minds.
This sounds like it's the movie you're describing.
Yeah.
Dangerous Minds uses the Bad Boys logo, it looks like.
They changed it in the movie to make it more like sex appeal because like the lead is Michelle Pfeiffer and like, you know, she's a pretty power woman. So they were like, yeah, she walks into the classroom with like her tits hanging out and like her ass, and she's like, this probably was it. This movie had a budget of $23 million and made $180 million. I think this is the movie. And like, good. She walks in the scene. She walks in the classroom with like her ass hanging out and all this shit, and she's like, I'm gonna fuck you if you do your math homework. And they're like, okay, teacher. School? Yeah, it was a high school.
The students in the background of the poster look like they're all 40.
Well, that's American filmmaking, Jackson.
Yeah, that's just the Riverdale syndrome.
Yeah, but this is like egregious. Like they're not even trying in this one. There's a guy with a full beard in the back.
Yeah. But yeah, they took a true story about a teacher teaching in a violent, crime-ridden school and earning their respect through being professional and like no bullshit, and they turned it into she tries to seduce them in one scene to get them to do their math homework.
Did you not read the tagline? It says she broke the rules and changed their lives. I'm assuming with her tits.
With her giant tits. That's right. So that's one that I remember. Yeah.
Jackson's right. That usually does end in conviction.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen in real life.
I have a question because a new trailer dropped recently. Do any of you guys remember even a single line of dialogue or any noteworthy quotes from Avatar?
Yeah.
Even one.
So I have a fun question. Without looking it up, I don't want to hear any typing. Can you guys name the main character of Avatar?
Sully.
Any of the three?
Jake Sully. Yeah, Jake Sully.
Okay.
That was
so
easy.
this is So I remember, I think it might have been Jack's film, went out into public to see if anyone remembered anything from Avatar, and no one could remember like even the main character or anything. Mm-hmm. And I always wondered like, is that for everyone? Because the movie is like extremely forgettable. It's Tiana's favorite movie, and she completely forgot about like that guy in the mech suit.
Who's
she
the
didn't
best
remember
character? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
she did not even remember that guy who was in that movie. She didn't remember that general at all.
I need
And
to
it is her
rewatch it.
favorite movie
know, the
that she's
funny
seen
thing
like
about
8
that
times.
General is
Jake
I saw a
Sully.
meme recently with, you know how people put like they pull photos from a movie and then they superimpose a quote from that movie on top of it, and I read that quote, and I thought, well, this is good writing, and I looked it up and it wasn't even from the movie. They just used a photo of the general for it.
Oh, is that the one where he's saying like, you know, whenever we destroy your civilization, we'll take the stars that you look up at? I think I've read what you're talking
literally,
about.
like the stars will shine above your tombs of your
Yeah,
dead
I've read
civilization
that
or whatever.
too,
I was
yeah.
like, damn, that's boss shit right there, and it's not even from the movie.
Yeah, it's a counter argument against the movie's plot about like, oh, mysticism good, military bad, and it's like a counter argument against that.
And in the movie, the guy was literally just a meathead going like, I'm going to destroy these primitive whatever the fuck. I even forget the name of
That
the
movie is so fucking
Navi?
infuriating because you watch the movie and the whole time I'm watching it, I thought the military was cool as fuck. They have these incredibly cool mech suits and all these like amazing designs and these cool like hovercrafts and all this shit. And then the fucking like the Navi, is that what they even are? They show up and it's like,
Navi.
hey, I'm riding a horse. I'm riding a dragon-looking thing.
They're in tune with nature and the environment.
But their designs are boring. They have the first like 20 minutes in the movie setting up the world like, oh, there's a rhino, but it has 6 legs, and here's like a glider dragon thing. And it's like, you see it all the spectacle's gone. But then the military shows up later and they have like giant fucking chain guns and like this big jungle destroying machine, and it's awesome. And then what do? They jump on it with sticks, and it's like, this is boring. Fuck,
I don't think that's
don't care.
subjective. I think a lot of people find the grey industrial look and mechs and shit boring. Like
I know they did, Jackson, but that's general audiences who needed a high school teacher to have sex with their students. Like, come on.
I like the River of Lights in Avatar with all the cool bright lights and shit. That's all I remember.
I don't even remember that.
Or was it a Disneyland ride? I don't know anymore.
It's such a fucking forgettable movie. It's unreal.
All I remember is Jake Sully and Unobtainium, which was just funny.
That's a movie where the
Unobtainium,
general's
Sorry, go
mech
ahead.
suit has a Bowie knife that's the size of a
Oh
human.
yeah.
It's
That
like,
was
this
cool.
is the coolest shit, and he tries to fucking stab all the fucking Navi with it. And it's like, I was so rooting for the humans that movie, and then it's like, no, we won because we prayed harder. It's like, fuck off. This movie sucks. God. The first time I watched Avatar, I watched it 2 times. The first time I watched it, I was blown away by the special effects, and I was like, this looks amazing.
Well, they
And then the
objectively
second-
were amazing at the time.
Oh yeah, visually it's an incredibly good-looking movie. But the second time I watched it more for the plot and to try to actually get something out of it, and it's the most generic, uninspired fucking movie I've ever seen.
Well,
Sucks.
I wonder how hard it is to write a really good movie with those kinds of special effects involved, because at that point it's more the whole product or the whole project is based around those special effects, and with creative pipelines and stuff, maybe you can't make as many changes or make changes easily to like plot things, so you have to keep it simple. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
maybe
why.
they had to dumb it down.
Oh yeah,
for the audiences again.
He definitely wanted to just make a shitload of money with it. You know, you can't have a plot too complicated or people won't like it.
Ah, what a turd. Well, they dropped the trailer for the second one, which I've not seen. Or maybe I have and I don't remember. I don't fucking know.
Is the next one going to have the
slated for
same
this
effect
year?
as the first one, you guys think? Is it going to be...
No.
Like, is it going to
No.
raise the visual benchmark?
Not even close.
Nope.
Not even
It
close.
won't come close.
Won't even come close.
I cannot imagine a world where people are like, "This is it, Avatar 2. I've been waiting for so long. I can't wait with more Avatar."
I'm
You gotta
not
remember
talking
the
about that.
time-
I'm just talking about the technology. Do you think it's going to be
You
a
gotta
step up in
remember the
terms of
time.
visuals?
No.
No. You gotta remember the time when Avatar 1 came
No.
out. It was like, what, 2010, 2011?
2009.
2009.
I think.
Of the other movies that were out around it visually and like spectacle wise and this and that. It had nothing to really compete with. It was so gorgeous and so beautiful and so like immersive. Nothing else came close. Now think of the movies that we've had come out around it. Think about Endgame, which not only has incredible
Yeah.
special effects and an entire world to get into, but you have an entire cast of characters that have all had their own big blockbuster movies to get you attached to them. Like, you have competition for
Marvel
Avatar 2
movies
now.
with equal or better graphics every other month now. It's just not
Yeah.
that big of a deal anymore.
You have
Well,
all
that's-
these big blockbuster budget movies that look as good and also give like more action or more dynamic characters or more. Whereas Avatar doesn't really have anything to go
Well, it
for
never
other
had the
than
story
it looks
or
good.
the characters. It always rested on the fact that it was a visual spectacle, and it advanced the visuals in cinema to such an insane degree. And I'm wondering, like, I think that's the only way it would be able to succeed as a franchise if it does it again, because it doesn't have the story or it doesn't have the characters to depend
The
on.
only way
What
it
are
could
they
have
even gonna do
succeeded.
for the like 4 movies? What's gonna be the plots? The humans
It's
come
5
back
total, right?
again and again and again?
The only way it could have succeeded, Jackson, is if Avatar 2 came out like 7 years ago when people still cared. It's just way too late. It's way too late.
I'll also say, if you guys haven't seen the trailer, it looks so fucking boring. Like, this looks like it's Avatar 1, but even more boring.
What is it
I think it
about? What
looks
do they
kinda
tease?
It's the way of water, so they're just always in water and, like, swimming.
Waterworld, the return of Waterworld. Waterworld was such a good movie.
Waterworld was not a very good movie.
It's a fun movie, though. I watched it not that long ago. It has
It's
like
okay.
merit, but it's not good. Yeah,
But it's like bad Mad Max.
it is bad Mad Max. It very much is. Yeah.
No, this trailer does look boring. They really do just swim
It's-
around.
It's so fucking boring
What?
looking.
No, he high fives a whale. That's kind of cool. Am I watching the wrong trailer? Was there a new one? May
You were
10th.
watching Free Willy, Jackson.
They just posted it 3 hours ago. I saw it in theaters because they played it before Doctor Strange, so I knew it was boring before they posted it on YouTube.
Hipster. Okay. Why don't you give us warning then? Why don't you let the world know?
Oh yeah, this is a dead fucking movie. The trailer's been out for how many hours?
3
Like 4,
hours.
and none of them even have like 1 million views or anything. Like not even close. They have nothing. Holy shit.
Well, no one's awake yet, are they?
Oh
What?
wait, no, I found it. I found an upload. That's the big popular one. Never mind.
Which one is it? Because I don't see it.
Screen Culture has almost 5 million. Oh wait, no, that's 9
That's
months
from
ago.
9
That's
months
a preview.
ago.
That's not a trailer. That's
Yeah.
a preview. Never mind.
Everything
Yeah,
that was
no.
uploaded today has none of them break 100,000 views.
Yeah.
Oh wait, never mind. I'm wrong.
No, the
So-
official
so
Avatar channel
Avatar's-
does.
with
Yeah.
256.
Avatar's official channel has 300,000 views, and IGN seems to be the most with 475,000.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's almost as much as we get on like a good episode. So good on you, James Cameron.
Yeah, good job, Cameron. You can compete with us now. Good lord.
Avatar's on Disney Plus now. I might actually rewatch that to figure out what the fuck happened in that movie.
I don't even know why you'd waste your time. It's so fucking boring.
I kind of want to see if the visuals hold up now.
It looks like more of the same.
I also don't yeah, I wouldn't watch it. I don't know why. It just had no impression on me.
That's so weird
Yeah.
because it was such a large movie at the time, back in like 2009. It's all you could hear about.
It's still the highest grossing movie of all time, I think, if you add like re-showings.
No, not anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe if you're counting like other factors, but it's no longer the highest grossing. It's still top 5 though, I think.
No, Avatar is number 1 at
there's no way.
2.8 billion. Avengers is number 2 at 2.7 billion.
I thought Star Wars
That's
beat it.
fucking crazy.
I think it's because those lists include like when it goes back into theaters and when it like reshows and all that shit.
Yeah, to be
Yeah,
fair,
maybe.
Avatar is also 13 years old versus Endgame, which is 3
Oh, yeah.
years old.
Endgame overall will probably overtake it and stay on top at some point for sure.
Damn, Spider-Man No Way Home at number 6.
Yeah, isn't that nuts? That movie's huge. That's only a year old.
Yeah,
It
Jesus
deserves
Christ.
it.
Yeah.
I like the new Spider-Man. He's like my favorite rendition of the character. Tom Holland, I think his name is.
Tom Holland's great.
Yeah, he fits it pretty well.
Yeah.
He's like a perfect mix between the last two.
Jesus, Fast and Furious 7's number 10.
Yeah, why do you think they keep making it?
Yeah, holy shit. Oh, I guess this can be our last topic. Did you guys see Vin Diesel is so hard to work with that the director quit because he fucking hates Vin Diesel now?
No, I didn't.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought Vin Diesel was a cool person.
Well, no,
What is he, like an asshole?
No, he's... So according to the director, he just never learned his lines, and he showed up out of shape was one of his main complaints too, which is kind of a weird one.
no,
Work with him
if
'cause
your
he's
entire
fat.
fucking job is that you're meant to be like,
Yeah, that's
you're an
not a
action
weird
movie
one.
star. No, if other
That's
people
very fair.
But
Well, you get paid millions of dollars.
fair,
Put in an
to
put
be
in
fair,
effort.
in those movies, I don't know. He mostly just drives cars, like, and just stands around looking
No,
tough. He
he-
doesn't.
yeah, stands
but
around
any-
looking
okay,
tough.
but-
That's important.
Yeah, I guess if he's
Yeah,
really like
that's the whole
chubby, he's
point of
not gonna
hiring-
work. Yeah,
You should have
Diesel,
come out
I
of the
can-
car with like a beer belly.
McDonald's
That's
bags
imposing.
spill out of the fucking passenger seat.
He can't deliver his lines without fucking taking a
Uber
second to
Eats
take a
shows
breath.
up in the middle of the film, brings him some wings.
You should just take an example, a page out of Sylvester Stallone's book and shoot up a bunch of human growth hormone for the rest of his life.
Oh god,
Yeah.
but his face is like melting off, isn't it?
Yeah, he looks like handsome Squidward who died in a fire or something. He looks really, really bad.
Oh
That's-
yeah, he does.
This is why I respect The Rock so much. He puts in so much effort. He's not a great actor or anything, but he puts in effort of staying at the prime of his career. Basically, he keeps putting in the effort.
That blows my fucking mind. So The Rock, you've obviously seen how good he looks. He's 50 years old.
Yeah,
I know.
And yet
you want to know
he
a
looks like
crazier
he's
one?
like mid-30s.
The craziest one to me is Jared Leto. Jared Leto's 50.
Oh my god. And he looks
Really?
like he's
Yeah.
late 20s.
He literally looks late 20s.
Holy
I think-
shit.
yeah. That's cult shit.
Well-
He bathes in the blood of virgins or something.
Well, they
I
also
hate
always
him, man,
put
I
him
hate
in
him.
these cringe roles that make him look like an edgy 16-year-old.
Yeah, but he like actually does just look like he's in his late 20s.
Yeah, he's a beautiful man. I'll give him that.
Oh man, words can't describe how much I hate him though.
Yeah, but he's beautiful, Jackson.
But then
He's a very handsome man.
We've talked about this so much, where beautiful people just get the benefit of the doubt. Why does he get to be beautiful?
Oh, apparently Vin Diesel was trying to write for the movie. The director says that Vin Diesel would show up. He would show up late with script revisions.
Oh, man. It's all scribbled in crayon and shit.
He's the
Justin
kind of guy to
finally had
show
enough-
up. He'd be like, I need all these lines. They're all mine. I'm going to say all these.
Oh my god.
So wait, what was the drama, Charlie? He had a falling out with the director.
Yeah, so like it was 2 weeks ago. He posted a really fucking cringe Instagram post where he was filming the director. He's like, "Hey, this is the director. We've been shooting the new Fast movie. Would you say it's the best movie ever made?" And he's like, "Yeah, I might say that. It's real good." And he's like, "Oh." And then 2 weeks later, the director quit.
Fucking weird.
It was so weird.
I fucking hate this
Side
list.
note, this is from Vin Diesel. Side note, you will never believe who corrected the very important role of Mia. My daughter, the alpha angel, who told the director very plainly and honestly, "No, Mia, no Fast 10." I mean,
What?
I think I would also quit if this fucking douche came in there like he wanted his 5-year-old daughter to boss me around and write the script.
Yeah.
Fuck
Good
off.
lord.
It's not your job.
So, Kaya, to go back a bit to our argument about general audiences, if you want a good indicator of how stupid they are, the Lion King remake, the live action one, is the 8th highest grossing movie of all time.
I saw that.
Yeah.
God damn.
I
think
know.
you're
Well,
see it in
to be
cinema,
fair,
so I
that is like
contributed.
so is Frozen 2 though. I would assume that's like, people dragging their kids to it. That's a lot
That's
of
and that's
children.
still no, but that's still stupid audiences because those are parents who don't care about the quality of the product. They just go, "Oh, I know Brand. Let's go see Brand."
Oh yeah, it shuts the kids
Well,
up for
yeah,
2
but-
hours.
But how passionate would you feel about your children's entertainment? Like, if I have kids and I sit them down to watch Paw Patrol or whatever, I'm not gonna judge it based on my tastes. It's
Right,
whatever.
and the difference is, if you sit them down to watch Paw Patrol, you can do whatever the fuck you want while they sit at your TV and watch Netflix. With The Lion King, you got to go, and you have to watch that movie too. You have to sit there. You have to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's true. I would either delegate that task to my wife or pick a movie I like. All right, kiddo, we're watching Mad Max today.
We're starting with Fury Road, so you can get a taste.
Oh, you bet your ass. I'm gonna raise my kid
yeah.
right.
Nothing but violence for my son.
I'm kind of turning into who was that director that had like the big spat about Marvel movies?
No,
Scorsese.
Scorsese.
Yeah, I'm kind
Well,
of
also the
turning
guy
into
who directed
Scorsese.
Moonfall, Emmerich.
Oh well, that's
Well, give him credit. He directed one of the greatest movies ever made.
I know. I think he has every right to shit on anything
Yeah.
he wants after Moonfall.
Once
He
you
is
make-
my favorite director.
Once you make Moonfall, you can only go down. Like, you've peaked.
Yeah, that movie is a fucking movement.
So you
But yeah.
resonate with him now, Jackson?
yeah. Well, I'm just
Scorsese.
tired of. I'm really tired of just Marvel movies being, or Disney movies being, always at the top of these lists and such. I get why they are, obviously, because they're easily digestible and they look good and they're good at what they do. But I'm just tired because I feel like it's the same thing every time.
Jackson, what do you mean? You don't like a giant conglomerate making a literal yearly schedule of movies just on a production line rather than because they have an idea?
Yeah.
Come on. How could you not like that?
I'd be
It's
fine
fun.
with that if it wasn't the only thing succeeding so much. Like if there was still room for like, the good movies, the movies that try new things, then I'd be fine with it. But it does feel like there isn't anymore.
To give James Cameron some credit, I'm looking at this top 50 grossing movies of all time. The only two that I can see... Okay, so there's 3 that I can see that are not part of a giant, franchise or a remake of an existing property. Those are Avatar, Titanic, and Zootopia.
Everything. I got a phone call. 1 second.
And then I guess Pixar is a little different if you're counting Finding Dory. But even then... No, wait, that's a sequel. Yeah, never mind.
Zootopia... Yeah, Zootopia was good, but it's still... Isn't that Disney?
It is Disney, and I understand if you kind of want to leverage against it, it's Disney machine movie, but those are the only 3. Everything else here is either part of a giant franchise or a
Charlie,
remake
you're
of an
not
old
muted.
one. Charlie. Oh no,
You weren't muted.
you leaked your whole phone call.
Now he's gone. He's left.
Now he's muted.
He forgot about the podcast. What were you saying, sorry? I completely zoned
Alright,
it.
I'm back.
You never left, Charlie.
You heard all that?
Yeah, you unmuted.
I muted in the recording, so that was a little Patreon bonus.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking over the list. All I can see is Avatar, Titanic, and Zootopia as movies that aren't either remakes or part of franchises and sequels. And it's that's just what people want. They just want more of what they like.
Are you guys looking forward to any movies?
No. Not really.
Not
I mean, I guess they're
anything I can
making a
think
new
of.
Mad Max. That's
There's
about
one
it
movie
at the
that
top of
I'm
my
really
head.
looking forward to. It's you guys remember that movie Annihilation with Natalie Portman?
Mm-hmm.
That was
Yeah, I
good.
rewatched
Yeah,
it
that was
recently.
really good.
Haven't
Alex
seen it, but I
Garland
know
is
it.
a really good director. It's a very interesting movie. He's doing another movie that's coming out soonish called Men, and it looks like an interesting like horror movie. So I'm kind of interested in that because he's a very interesting director. But that's what I'm looking forward to anyway. That's kind of like where my mind's at. I've just kind of got to look for those kinds of movies that seem creatively driven, as like.
It feels so weird to be like, ever since a new season of Better Call Saul started, it's been the first time in like probably a decade where I actually am starting to look forward to something coming out each week, like on Mondays. It feels weird. I haven't felt this way in ages. Like, oh, it's Better Call Saul Day. Hell yeah.
To give you some credit, Kaya,
caught up.
To give you that credit, Kaya, that show's fucking incredible.
Yeah, I'm
It's
almost
so
caught
good.
up.
It's so good.
It's not as good as Breaking Bad. I'm just gonna say it, but I do really like it.
What
I
season are
agree.
you on?
Season 5, episode 7.
Oh,
Does
yeah,
that mean
that's
it's
fair.
been running longer than Breaking Bad? Because Breaking
Breaking
Bad was
Bad
5 seasons, right?
Yeah, I think it was 5. So yeah, this will be a little bit longer.
This is the final season of Saul, though.
Yeah.
I was saying they only do 5 seasons.
Yeah,
God.
I agree. I think Breaking Bad is slightly better than Saul, but Saul is still just a very good show.
Agreed.
Yeah. Is El Camino worth watching?
No.
Okay.
God, Jesus Christ.
I would say
no.
yeah. I actually rewatched that
No.
too the other day. It's okay. It's not as bad as I thought it was. Not a whole lot happens though. It's not like you're not gonna hate it. It's just not.
Okay.
It's hard to hate it. It's just so
not mandatory.
fucking worthless. It's like an after. It's like in a
It is
Marvel movie where you get like an
pointless, yeah.
after credit scene. That's basically what you
Yeah.
get for a whole movie.
But I get that for a whole
it's-
2 hours? That sounds amazing.
Yeah, but it's also so. Here's what I don't like. You know those scenes where they're trying to make you feel really bad for a character, and it's almost gut-wrenchingly sad, like the whole story arc with the Reek in Game of Thrones, where it's just
yeah.
this guy getting fucking tortured for episodes at a time. And I'm like, this is like, I don't want to watch this. This is sad. It's like watching a puppy getting kicked, and that's El Camino for 2 hours. You watch flashbacks of Jesse getting tortured, and it's fucking infuriating and sad.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck, you just reminded me. Did anyone see the new Game of Thrones trailer that just came out this last week? The next series,
No.
House of Dragons?
No, I forgot about it.
Oh man, it actually looks good. So I'm kind of interested in that. I'm interested in seeing how they fuck it up anyway.
Do you think we'll get petitions again to change the show?
I think there already are petitions to change it, just based on the trailer, which is kind of interesting. So we'll see. I think they've changed like a character, like an important character. I don't know. I haven't really been keeping up. I'm going in fresh.
Okay.
All right. Anyone got anything else that they want to talk about, or do you guys want to wrap?
I think we're good. Up to you if you want to rant and rave about your love boogie. Other than that, I can't
I'm
really
good.
think of anything funny right now.
Yeah. Alrighty. That's the end of this episode of the official podcast. Big welcome back to Charlie. Hope you enjoyed your extended vacation.
It was a fun trip. I enjoyed it, and it's good to be back.
Alrighty. Thanks to our patrons for supporting us. You can head on over to patreon.com/theofficialpodcast to subscribe for bonus episodes, early episodes, and Kyra and I are on episode 7 of Halo at the moment. That should be coming out this week. And the only good thing we can say about it is that there's only 2 more episodes left, so that's good.
Yep.
We're coming up to the end, which is nice.
Yeah.
Have you kept up, Charlie?
I am 3 episodes behind.
Oh man, what happened?
Yeah.
They didn't have
you
Halo in
give up?
Texas.
Coward.
I just kept forgetting, and now I'm so behind. It's daunting, but I will catch up. I will watch it.
Charlie is so bad. Did you see 3 episodes behind? So was the last episode?
Episode 4.
Was that the one with the big action scene at the end?
No, there hasn't been an action scene since episode
so
1
that's
for me.
episode 5. It's
Which
funny,
episode
Charlie.
was it?
Episode 4 was the one where I think Quan Lee goes on that motorcycle chase at the end.
Yeah, they get on the chase at the very end after she gets her aunt killed.
I saw a clip. I
Oh,
want you
that
guys to verify this for me. Is there a scene where Master Chief tortures a woman by locking her in a room that's gonna fill with poison gas.
He becomes like a serial killer. It's so goofy.
I know. I saw that one clip, and that was all I needed to know about this
He
show.
literally, like, Cortana's begging him to open the door, and he literally says, "Make me." It's so fucking. Oh.
Yeah.
It felt
And
like a
it's so
totally
weird, like-
different fucking universe. It was insane.
The idea is that he's trying to kill the woman because he's really mad at her for kidnapping him as a child. But every time they show it, it's like, this is too funny. Like, I cannot take it seriously. He does like the slow motion jump up in the air and cocks his fist so he can punch a woman that weighs like 10% of what he does.
Yeah,
and then
he spent the
fucking
entire
cock blocked on
episode
it too.
trying to kill her. He's like running. Every time they were in the same scene, he was just like, it was some kind of evil scheme to kill her. It was so funny.
He's like staring her down like a fucking incel planning a school shooting the next day. It was weird. And they still don't decommission him. He's still armed and walking around for some reason with access to every fucking panel everywhere,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah, he's like some omnipotent, like, Grim Reaper for this woman.
But
So
a
there's
really
one
incompetent one.
Yeah, there's one scene towards the end of the episode where she's getting like she's in like a HR meeting or something in this private room. She's just sitting at the table with like a HR representative, probably complaining about Master Chief. And then, no joke, like the sentence ends between him and her, and he gets up, the HR representative gets up and leaves the room, and then Master Chief walks in and does the rest of the meeting with her, and he's just like intimidating her the entire time. It's so good. Fucking...
God.
It's so bad, but it's so good. Alrighty. Anyway, yeah, patreon.com/theofficialpodcast for those episodes. We've also got, I think it's stories at official.men if you want to send in a request to come on the show and share your story. We'd like professionals and not just like, I masturbated 6 times in a day, let me on the show to talk about how I masturbated 6 times in a day. That'd be fantastic. Just keep it like if you're actually like a professional in a field or something, you've got interesting stories that you think we'd like to hear, please reach out. We'd love to hear it.
On that note, also warning, you should probably not use your professional email while emailing us. That shit is monitored.
Yeah,
know.
be careful with that.
Pro tip. Also, how come so many of our listeners are in cults? What's up with you people?
Yeah, we had so many. We had like, I want to say like 20 different emails about how these people are in cults, like actual legitimate cults. How are you even listening to the podcast?
Cults are pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're pretty common too.
They are cool,
Yeah, I didn't realize they were that
and I
common.
would love to hear the stories.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, that's definitely. So we might. Kai and I were talking. We might do a cult themed episode where we bring on a couple people that are in cults and
And they have
talk
to
about it.
fight over which one's right.
Yeah, they have to try to convert each other in front of us.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. All right, yeah, rate us on iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.